All right, mate, we're going to skate through the results. Manchester City
Yeah.
5, Crystal Palace 2, Palace 2-0 up, and then we saw a bit of City. Just got to ask you on this one, because it is a big question. We didn't spend much time on Kevin De Bruyne last weekend. Obviously, the star man this weekend, goals, assists, involved in lots of the good things, Rob. I've read a few reports this morning that intimate, and again, I might be reading it wrong here, I don't know if it's, that intimate that Kevin De Bruyne might not be done with the Premier League. And to quote his line was that he's looking for a exciting project that would get him going again, not necessarily as though he's ruling out the Premier League. Now, I'm again, he might be putting it out there. I might be reading it wrong. Journalists might be putting it out wrong. But if Kevin De Bruyne is available on a free transfer at the end of the season, unlike the Manchester United players who are on the free and not many takers, there'd be a couple of takers for KDB, wouldn't there?
Oh, I'd love to see that, Rob. I'd love to see that. You're teasing everybody with Kevin De Bruyne staying in the division, one of the best attacking midfield players of all time in the English top flight.
It was just the quotes he made, Rob, that he said he's looking for a nice project, an exciting plan.
How about Villa?
I've got four. Liverpool, Arsenal, Villa, Newcastle.
Arsenal.
Could they be an exciting enough project for KDB to hand over his Man City loyalty and say, well, because he's made it very clear that the club have decided it was time to make the move, and you know, Pep and whatever, and it's now been decided. So is there a position where he says, right, I've put my great time at Man City. I still think I've got a couple of years at me at the very top level, if it's Champions League and Premier League and the likes. Could he be a benefit to any of those four clubs?
Absolutely, 100 million%. How about, I'm thinking more and more about Arsenal. Martin Odegaard was injured.
Yeah.
There was a real lack of creativity. There's energy and legs in that midfield that could maybe work around him a little bit in Partey.
Will he have a little relationship with Arteta from being Arteta's been the number 2 at City, and there might be a little relationship?
Wouldn't that bring an excitement to the club, let alone his on-field quality, what it takes to be champions? You'd have to play around him a little bit, go and live in a nice part of London, you know, get away from the rain of Manchester. Sorry, but
Manchester.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So a little tester. It's interesting, Rob, and I thought it was an interesting. I don't know whether it was a fishing expedition he's chucking it out there, but it was definitely worded as though it might not necessarily mean the end of the Premier League. You know, sometimes we've seen stars like that say, you know, I couldn't ever be seen in any other colour. That's my, you know, the John Terrys and the people. Well, although he went to Villa, didn't he, before that, after that? But you know, most of those big time players who are all time greats kind of say it's a one team in the Premier League. But he definitely was putting it out there that there might be an option for somebody else.
That's a great shout, my friend. That is, and that let's just watch his space. Just before we move on from the game, Rob, I did want to give a shout out to the young players of Man City. City were good. Second half, zipping the ball around, lively, youthful players coming off the bench. Nico Riley had a tough start, to be fair. At left back, came into the game, scored a goal. 20 years of age. James McAtee, absolutely in my top 2 for underappreciated performer. James McAtee. You know, he's come out of nowhere, really, on loan, wasn't he? And back into the football club, 22 years of age.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Oscar Bob is back fit again. Looks like I'll temper that a little bit. Looks like he's got a bunch of talent and skill that could grow into being a star player. And Savinho come on later on as well. So, you know, just the inklings of the next
what
kind
it might
of
start to look like.
With the young players, with the likes of De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva, etc., leaving the club. So kind of encouraging. Kind of slow start. Pep was a little fired up, Rob, with the fans. I think he was quiet.
Yeah, he wanted a little bit more noise, didn't he?
And he was trying to get the fans going a little bit. And to be fair, both the players and the fans reacted and ended up being a pretty good day for City, 5-2. that's
it's a good win. That's a bit old City, isn't it? Yeah, they did need that. Almost needed it.
Yeah.
Result. I think it was 8 wins in the last 22 before then, so it was very un-City-like. But good win.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Lowe, and as we head towards the end of an exciting Premier League season, make sure you like and subscribe on the NBC Sports YouTube channel for more content like this.